India going to be renamed? There's a lot of buzz around this question. Many believe India could soon become Bharat. Why all of a sudden?
Resolution is likely to be brought in the special session, and India is likely to be named Bharat. Ever since the story broke out, a lot of reactions in fact coming in.
Those who are in favor of India may say India. India. Favor of Bharat.
It's an English name. This is the technology of dominance. You must see this when they imported slaves from Africa. The first thing they did in the port was to change their name, to call you Cuckoo, Tobo, Nono, Pupo, something like this. If I call you Padmanabhan, first thing is to give a meaningless name, a name which has no cultural background, a name which has no significance, a name which does not instill pride in you. That kind of a name I will give you because this is the technology of dominance. In this country, maybe 2, 3, maybe 5% of the people speak English language, but the nation is named in English. It doesn't mean anything to someone who doesn't speak English language, India. Bharat has a power to it because there are two aspects to this. When we utter something, there is a sound. Meaning is just psychological, you making up the meaning, isn't it? Meaning is secondary, the significance is in the sound. You utter Bharat and see what reverberation it has in you, you say India and see what reverberation it has in you. This was done with a very close observation, a deep understanding of the science of sound. Every sound has a form attached to it. So, what kind of sounds have the maximum impact on the human system? This we call them as mantras. Bharat is a mantra, Bharat is powerful. It is being propagated like India was born in 1947? No. The other cultures everywhere in the world experience this as one nation for thousands of years. Even though there were many political entities, many times over 100 entities, in spite of that people saw it as Bharat because they saw these unique people who did not believe in anything particular, who had no moral sense, but they were perfectly on the track because they were not a bundle of morality but an effervescent humanity. This has to be brought back into India because when you are a seeker, you are not in collision with anybody. This is the oldest nation on the planet. It defies what people think is a nation today. The modern nations are made. People are making nations based on language, religion, race, ethnicity, maybe a little bit of ideology, one or two. Essentially, it is the sameness of people which makes a nation. But we have known this nation for over 8–10,000 years as Bharatvarsh. We have never defiled ourselves with sameness. If you drive 50 kilometers, people look different, wear differently, eat differently, speak different languages, everything is different. So what makes this one nation? When the Europeans came here, they went about saying, this country that we have heard about, it doesn't exist. Because there's nothing binding this, how can they say this is a nation? But for over 8–10,000 years, within this subcontinent and also in the remaining part of the known world of those days, everywhere people refer to this as one nation, though at some points we were over 200 political entities.
Yes.
So what is it that makes this nation?
Yes.
This is something the leadership in this country and the people of this country must really look at. This is not a religious identity, this is a geographical and cultural identity. But what kept us together for so long? No nation on the planet has stayed together for so long. It is essentially, if you look at it, we have always been a land of seekers versus people be… When we look for sameness, we try to become land of believers. People believe in one thing, so they come together. Here, we've been always a land of seekers, seekers of truth and liberation. In this seeking, we found oneness. So this nation was built on that fundamental You cannot even say it's built. At the same time, it's been managed on that fundamental that you are seekers. If we do not transform ourselves towards sameness, we will always be one. If you try to transform yourself towards belief and sameness, we will not be one.
Then was that Bharata?
Yes.
Is India different? Has India changed and changed the Bharata? Was that Bharata?
Bharat.
Bharat.
Bharat means Bharata. Bhava means sensation. Because your whole experience of life is sensory right now. What you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you touch are different types of sensations. So sensation is the basis of your experience right now. This is the fundamental of your experience. Bha means sensation, out of which comes emotion.
Right.
Ra means raga or the tune. The tune is not yours. The existence has already set the tune. You cannot set the tune. Now you have to just find the rhythm, which is the thala. If you find the right rhythm, you are a fantastic human being. If you miss the rhythm, you're crushed by the process of life. So we called this nation Bharata, and the first, or not necessarily the first, one of the great kings of the past was Bharata. People say the country is named after him. No, he is named after the country. There are so many Bharats and Bharatis in this country. Their country is not named after them. They are named after this nationhood.
Did we make a mistake then in converting our name from Bharat through India?
A serious mistake.